Hello, everybody. I see a bunch of people joining, so we'll wait 3 minutes and then we'll start at 9:05 ESC time. Okay. Welcome, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm seeing the chat, and everybody is saying where they are from. So keep going that, so we can know where everybody is joining from. It's always great to see people from all parts of the world joining, regardless of the time. So we really appreciate your time, and we believe that you're going to have a fruitful session today, and you're going to learn more about what Kectil is right now, as well as our application process, as well as you're going to hear from our board members, regional coordinators, and then our brightest stars from previous group. So firstly, I'd like to welcome Sherry Knowles, who is CEO of Kectil, who is going to give in her welcoming remarks of today. Yeah, so Sherry, please go ahead and give your welcoming remarks. We have young people joining from everywhere. Yeah.
Oh, hi, this is Sherry Knowles. I'm the founder and executive director of the Kectil program. We are so excited to have you here with us today. And we're excited about all of the progress that the Kectil generation has made over the past couple of years. We are really excited about next year's program, and we hope that you are going to join us in this great adventure. What we're doing at Kectil, and really the mission of Kectil, is to connect youth leaders all over the world for powerful discussions about the things that matter to you, about the issues that you're facing in your country and your communities, and also to be a mentoring organization on really powerful, strong ideas and issues. So we started out this program in 2016, and every year it has grown so much. Last year we had almost 2,000 Kectil colleagues from 106 countries, and we were really, really proud of that. We've had a wonderful year this year. We've connected with youth all over the world, and we want to be able to connect with you on a local basis. So what we try to do is we bring in youth in all regions of the world. And we're not a religious organization. We're not a political organization. We rise above all of that because we think that all youth are connected through their desire to have a better life, a better quality of life, to participate in their community, to make their community better, and to think about the things that matter. So what we try to do, we're not a university. We don't give out degrees. But what we do is really actually more important. We expand your mind, and we have modules throughout the year that have what I think are mind-blowing questions, the big questions of life for you all to think about, to write about, and discuss with your colleagues. We set up a Kectil colleague portal that you can get into to network with youth all over the world, and to have meaningful, engaging discussions, to make friendships. We hope lifetime friendships. We have people who've joined the Kectil program who, once they joined, they just never let go. And of course, you're going to hear from some of them today. We have some of our wonderful board members. And we have Ashwathi from India, and Azim from Pakistan, Roderick from Zambia, Joel from Uganda. Of course, Ray is coming in from Myanmar, and Khan from Nigeria. You'll be hearing from everyone today. So what we hope to do is encourage you to get into that platform. Go to Kectil.com, get into the platform, apply for the 2023 program. And so that we can get your name, we can get you on the rolls, and we can start reaching out to you, not just you, but have you reach out to your colleagues so that you can create the seeds of the Kectil organization in each one of your countries. And we couldn't be more excited. And I believe we have a slide deck. Ray, are you going to share the screen? Would you like to do so?
Yeah, I'll share the screen right now. I think everybody can see the screen, and you can tell me to move to the next slide.
Okay, sure. So Kectil, what does Kectil mean? So Kectil is the Knowles Educational and Charitable Trust for International Leadership. It's an acronym, but we just call it Kectil, and we love that name, and we love the fact that it embraces the whole world. The Malmar Knowles Family Foundation, that's my family, and we really have been really devoted to these issues for developing countries all over the world. And so that's the foundation that supports the Kectil program. Okay, next slide. Okay, so the history of the Kectil program. We actually started this as a dream. We started it as a dream to connect youth leaders all over the world. I'm a lawyer, and I do have an international law practice. I do work in intellectual property, and so I've had the pleasure of actually traveling to a lot of countries, and I realized that there were just wonderful, brilliant youth in countries in every corner of the world that I wanted to connect. So that they could be even bigger than themselves, and create something that is what we call the Kectil generation. So that it started out with a thought, and it's actually been realized, which is fantastic. So in the first year in 2017, we started out with about 280 colleagues from 32 countries, and we actually brought some of these youth to Atlanta for a 10-day youth leadership conference, which is very inspirational. Some of the people who were at that conference are still part of the Kectil program today. So from 2018, we went to over 700 Kectil colleagues from 52 countries. And we started with some more regional conferences. We had a very successful conferences in Kenya and Ghana, Nigeria, and India. And then in 2019, we had another 700 people joining, and we had regional conferences in Vietnam, St. Lucia, and Taiwan. and that's when COVID hit. And so between in 2020, we kept the Kectil program going, and we could tell that there was a lot of bent up enthusiasm for youth to get connected. The COVID, of course, affected a lot of youth in some real fundamental ways. There was some isolation. There was sometimes disruption in education. There was, bad health. A number of people got COVID. And some of that even led to some mental distress, maybe increased poverty, et cetera. So 2020 was a tough time for youth all over the world. And as we're just coming out of it in 2021, the youth really, really bounced back. You all wanted to get back to being connected with your colleagues, and also to just start jumpstarting all the issues of your life, your education, and your talented youth leadership adventure. So we saw that in numbers, in spades. We accepted over 2,000 Kectil colleagues from 104 countries in 2021. So think about that. It jumped from 700 to over 2,000. And the youth were so excited to meet each other and to start thinking about these important issues about how they can change their community and change the world. So we also started for the first time Kectil local youth centers in Kenya, Zambia, and Uganda. This is the first time that we've done that. So we have 3 on-the-ground centers, and they've been tremendously successful. Okay, next slide, Ray. Okay, this is a map of what it looks like, what the Kectil program looks like now, which we're very, very happy about. Look at the footprint of the Kectil program. It is all over the world. And think about that. Is there any other program out there at all which allows you to meet youth all over the world, and not just youth, but talented youth leaders who are going to make the difference in their community, their lives, their countries, as they mature? And isn't that the group that you want to be part of? You want to be part of the team that's going to be making a better tomorrow. And that's what Kectil does. We're the Kectil generation. We stand for the things that matter. We don't hide from serious issues. We talk about them. We help youth when they're in a country which is either war-torn or is experiencing serious problems. And we have a footprint all over the world. And the Kectil generation is growing by leaps and bounds because this is what the youth want and need. They want to be connected. You want to be connected. You want to be part of something that's this big. Okay, next slide. Okay, for the first time, you want to go back to that? Ray, I think you skipped that board slide. Okay, for the first time in 2022, we created a board which is made up of youth around the world who have been very, very active in the Kectil program for a number of years. And we decided that if the Kectil program was going to lead, train, nurture, and network youth leaders around the world, we need to be run by youth leaders around the world, not adult leaders, but youth leaders. So we decided this is our footprint. And so we picked some of our most active youth around the world to be on the board. So if you all are thinking about this program, the day could come when you've been with Kectil for several years and you rise to the organization and actually become a Kectil board member and help lead youth all around the world. That's a huge dream, and we hope that's one of your dreams. So right now, the Kectil board is made up of the youth you see here. We have Joel Odada from Uganda, who's also our COO, Keaton Harris from South Africa, and Abokan from Nigeria. We have Haintuo, who's from Myanmar, and we call him Ray. You see him on the screen now. Huang from Vietnam, Ashwathi from India, Azim from Pakistan, Patrice from Guyana, Roderick from Zambia, Guguni from Kenya, Sarah from Guyana, and Louise from Brazil. We've got a fantastic group. And I can tell you, these youth are very, very active. And they're not youth, they're young adults, as you all are young adults. They're young, talented, passionate adults who have volunteered their time, lots of time, to help lead this organization all over the world. We thank them for that and hope that one day that you, the people who are listening today, will rise to become Kectil board members and will help lead this organization globally. Okay, next slide, Ray. Okay, the Kectil program, what do we stand for? What do we teach and what do we focus on? Well, we focus on entrepreneurship. That's very important for youth, and innovation. So how can you actually use creative innovation to make your world a better place? Leadership. What is good leadership? Isn't that something that youth think about and motivate, should be motivated toward? The leadership in various countries is not necessarily the best leadership. We see corruption. Sometimes we see issues of war. We see self-dealing. But we also see some great leadership. We have examples of fantastic leadership and good government. We've got some examples of very poor leadership and poor government. And we talk about those in an extremely honest, straightforward way, and we don't hide anything. And so we want to get to the truth so that we get a better world. Environmental sustainability, it's critical to the next generation. We focus on that. We do projects on that. We're very proud of the project that has been done in Uganda and actually going out and helping the neighborhood and actually picking up trash in Uganda. We also have similar things going on in Kenya and other countries. So we're not just talking about these things, we're on the ground making a difference. And we have an entire module on environmental sustainability. Ethics. Ethics is really important. You know, the Kectil program focuses on youth who are between the ages of, let's say, 17 and 26. And that's a really critical time in the life of a young person. You really decide who you're going to be when you grow up during those years of, let's say, 17 to 26. What kind of path are you going to take? Are you going to, how are you going to follow your ethical pattern? Is there an ethical pattern for you to follow? Do you see that in your immediate surroundings? Is that something that you look externally for? And what kind of person are you going to be? Are you going to help society as it goes forward? Are you going to really make a difference? And how can you make a difference? We talk about gender roles in society. We, of course, have focused a lot on female roles in society and making sure females are safe, are educated, and have the freedom to be the best they can be within their communities and their countries. We also want to focus on the male roles. We have a program for the male promise keepers. And we talk about how males can have a healthy balance and healthy role toward women. So what we look for is a healthy relationship between men and women. And of course, we also, realize that that there is the lesbian and gay and transgender population, and we like to hear about their issues also. There's youth unemployment and poverty employment. That's a big issue in developing countries. So we talk about, if you're in one of those situations, what can you do? And how can you influence your surroundings? And also the effect on overpopulation. In some of the countries, especially in Africa, the demographics are getting extreme. I think in Uganda, the average age of the population is 14 or 15 years old. Youth need to be thinking about that. They need to think about, how can the earth sustain the degree of population growth, and what will that do to the environment? What does that do to employment? What is the strain it puts on education, on housing, on water, on pollution, etc.? So Those are all really, really big issues. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, this is what we stand for. The last slide is what we focus on. This is what we stand for. Our 10 points of leadership are mission, passion, vision, ethics, compassion, equality and respect, good government management, and personal presentation, team building, and measurable accomplishments. I've spoken about some of these on the last slide. Personal presentation is important too. People get a view for you, about you from how you present yourself. We like to talk about how youth can present themselves in the most positive way to be a success and to get the job that they want, to be a success with their peers, and to be listened to. You know, a lot of people have great ideas, but you have to present your idea in a way that people want to hear it for it to make a difference. Okay, so you have to think about, how are you going to message that idea? How are you going to get it so it actually makes a difference? And we have team building. And then the other thing, last thing, is measurable accomplishments. So we put all these things together. None of this matters unless it is actually translated into measurable accomplishments. So how do we take everything we're talking about and actually do something to change the world? Okay, next slide. Right. Here are some pictures of our Kectil conferences. We love this. Here's one of the meetings in Atlanta. You can see me there. This is at the Museum for Civil Rights in Atlanta. We had a fantastically successful conference in Nigeria. We were also, let's see, in Atlanta, and then down further. I don't know if you can see the names. I don't know if you can scroll down a little bit further. There we had Kenya, Nigeria, we had India. So here's just an example of some of the kinds of things that we do. Next slide. Okay, here are pictures of our youth centers. We're so proud of them. This year they've made, this is the maiden year, the inaugural year of the Kectil Youth Centers in Zambia, Kenya, and in Uganda. And if you've been following our social media, you've seen some of the stories of some of the things that they've done in various countries. So, you know, kudos to everyone who've made that possible. Okay, next slide. We started a podcast series also. So you can go to like Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, Spotify, and just put in either Kectil or KYN, Kectil Youth Network. We had these podcasts this year. We're going to be having more podcasts next year. And the key to this is we want youth to be able to report to themselves about and each other about issues that matter. We know that most of the news media is biased. It's either censored or biased. Most newspapers, most TV shows, and certainly even social media. We've seen that come out in Facebook. We've seen it come out in some of these other things that they present the news in the way they want you to hear it. And I know that happens in a lot of developing countries, and even some governments then will modify the news, or you only hear certain things. That's not what Kectil is all about. Kectil wants to hear from the youth on the ground about things that are happening on the ground, and we want to be part of that. So when, for example, when the Taliban was taking over Afghanistan, we had a podcast from a youth in Afghanistan telling about what's going on. Ray, who's here with us today, did a podcast about the civil war in Myanmar and the result of that. We had a wonderful podcast about challenging entrepreneurs and coming from a youth in India who's created a huge company and how he did it in India in the IT space. We've talked about, we've gotten news from a youth in Pakistan, a female youth, about what does it mean to be a female in Pakistan, and how can you create a successful, productive life there. And we've had one from a entrepreneur in that was from Ethiopia. So what we want to do is have youth talking directly to other youth about things that matter, which is completely unscreened from the media. It's unscreened from any kind of even social media. And you get to speak directly to your colleagues all over the world. So if you have something to say, get in touch with us and let's talk about a podcast. So this is youth talking to youth directly, unbiased about things that matter. We think this couldn't be more important. We also had a female from Ukraine talking to us on one of the podcasts about the war in the Ukraine and how it was affecting youth there. So please go and listen to those. And here's a picture of a Ukrainian family. Kectil helped sponsor a family from Ukraine that was in the midst of the war area to come to the United States and then be reunited with part of its family in the United States. So we were very happy with that. We gave them all Kectil t-shirts. You can see that. And then they invited us to dinner to thank us. And you can see Ray is down on the front row here. And then you have me in the picture also. So we're doing things that matter. Okay. So next slide. Okay. We also several years ago published our first book. You can get this book on Amazon. It's Youth in Developing Countries Speak Out, and we'd love to do another one. So maybe 2023 will be the year that we publish our next book. So if you come on to our program, you may be one of the youth that will be able to contribute an essay to the next Kectil book. The first one was about female roles in society. And we are now talking about the next book that we will be coming out with. So we were very proud of that one, and we're ready to get to work to publish our next one. And we hope you'll be part of it. Okay, next slide. Social media, hope that you can follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Kectil Program. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, and we're also on LinkedIn. So we hope you'll follow us. We really, really want youth from all over the world speaking to each other. And there are ways for you to develop within the Kectil organization. You can come on first, apply to be a Kectil colleague. So you go through a one-year program as a Kectil colleague, and then after being a Kectil colleague, then you can help with being a regional coordinator. And as a regional coordinator, then you work with youth, not just in your country, but in other countries in your area. And then from there are other rising positions of responsibility, even going up to the Kectil board. So we hope that you'll realize that this is a long-term play. We need you, we want you, and we want you to be connected, and we want you to get your friends connected. Okay, so Ray, that's my introduction, and I will turn it back to you.
Thank you very much, Sherry. What an incredible presentations. And I'd like to express on behalf of the young people of Kectil and the board member, as well as because the Kectil program exists because you started that in early 2016. And then, look at now, we have thousands of young people from over 100 countries. It makes me emotional just to think about that. And right now we have, right now we also have tons of young people, applying for the next year, preparing to start their journey with Kectil. So it's always a pleasure. And the attendants gonna hear more voices from the colleagues who have been Kectil colleagues, and then they became regional coordinators, board members, and successful leader in their different countries. So we have Ashwati, who is our board member. We have Anabokam, who is also a board member, and we have Ramsha, who is our regional coordinator, and we have Lisa, who is our regional coordinator, and we have Azim, our board member, and we have Roderick, our board member. So they'll be sharing their, experience of Kectil and how it changed them and how Kectil means to them. So we'll start with Ashwati. Ashwati, please go ahead and share your experience about Kectil to the people who are planning to join next year.
Thank you so much, Ray. Hi, everyone. Hi, I'm Ashwati. I'm calling in from India. And I have been part of the Kectil family since 2018. That's when I joined as a colleague. Just like all of you, I had sat down to put in my application. There was lots of apprehension from my side, especially because I was just graduating from my college back then. And I really did not have any international exposure, none at all. I just had, like my experience interacting with friends from in like my own state. That is like a very limited circle. When I came into Kectil, what changed, the first stage was that I started getting a lot of information regarding what's happening around the world, unbiased, unfiltered information. And the first major change that I saw in myself was that I started seeing the world a lot differently. I started observing, I started actually comparing and contrasting situations here in India with what's happening outside in other countries, in other developing countries. And I saw a lot of patterns that were similar. I also saw lots of opportunities where, as youth, we could make a change. But even when I was a colleague back then in 2018-19, I thought there was nothing that I could do to effect any change there. I thought I could just observe, notice, and that's it. And then I came into Atlanta for the conference. I was one of the 27 youth who got selected to be part of the Atlanta conference. And that was life-changing for me. I was sitting in a room where all the rest of the 26 youth have already been doing lots of things in their respective areas, in their countries, creating change. And that area gave me a lot of ideas that I could take back home. It also helped me realize that I was also doing small things in my own capacity that I did not actually give myself credit for. This was also a space that I started observing that I had capacities in myself, that I am also, in a position to create change and not just observe. So back when I came back home, I started that. I actually had a career change and became an entrepreneur. I started creating change here, started working for youth and students and helping them come into platforms like Kectil, and that has been my transformational journey. Since then, Kectil has been my family. I have moved on to become a mentor, then a regional coordinator, and right now a leadership board member. And yes, as Sherry mentioned, this is something that you should aspire for when you're joining as a Kectil colleague. Understand that this is for the longer haul. We are here for everyone, and you should also be there for the rest of the countries and rest of the youth from across the world. So I hope you join our family. We are all waiting to know your story and as well as share our experiences with you and create lots and lots of new stories together.
Thank you very much, Ashwati. That's what I call a success journey. Look how far you've come. That's incredible, and we're hoping to see more leaders like that. Yeah, and then the next person who's gonna share a short testimonial is Anabul Khan, who is our board member and who have achieved a lot actually. So Anabul Khan, why don't you go ahead?
Thank you so much, Ray. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon from Nigeria. My name is Dr. Inibo Robato. I'm a medical advisor to Novo Nordisk Pharma Nigeria Limited. I support Nigeria, Ghana, Liberia, and Sierra Leone. It's such a pleasure to be here. I've been with Kectil for over 5 years. I first saw the Kectil, just like the call for application, I saw it late in 2016. And I looked at it and I thought it was something I wanted to be a part of. I applied and I decided to become a part of the online training. And luckily, I got also selected to attend the conference in person in Atlanta in 2017. Just like Ashwati said, it was a life-changing experience, not just the conference, but the modules that we take online. It really gives you perspective on what a young leader should know. Topics around leadership, topics around gender, things that are pertinent for any young leader to know and to improve in their leadership skills. But beyond that, it gives you access to a lot of people across the world. As you all know, in your network is your net worth. because again, the kind of richness in knowledge that's resident in people is something that you can tap into. Like Ashwati also alluded to, you get your opportunity to learn about what is happening in other parts of the world, even though you're not reading this from news sources, but you're actually hearing from people on the ground, and that really broadens your mindset and your perspectives, and you can apply this broadened mindset into doing different things. As a medical advisor, I get to support health education programs across 4 different countries in Nigeria, in Africa rather. And I can only do this because I kind of had the opportunity to talk with people who work in these countries, who live in these countries. And even though I'm not physically present in those countries, those insights are helpful with my job. You see how networking is very important in developing your leadership skills and improving your ability to contribute. I saw this immense value in Kectil, and that's why I stayed on. I attended the conference in 2017. I became a regional coordinator that same year, and I helped to support and to grow the Kectil network in Africa to the point where it is right now. Today, I sit on the board. I'm also happy and privileged to have this opportunity to serve this great organization, because I know that by doing this, I'm able to contribute to nurturing other young leaders, contributing to them learning skills on how to manage time, on how to keep to deadlines, put in assignments, how to interact respectfully with other people, how to also, coordinate people in groups and things like that. These are things that are important in the workplace today. If you decide to become an employee in the future, or if you become a business owner like Ashwati. I also say that the Kectil network also built my profile, improved my leadership capabilities, and it also pushed me onto to other responsibilities. For example, in 2020, I got selected as a Mandela Washington Fellow. And I cannot say that I got this because of my own self, but because of all the opportunities I had, being a part of the Kectil program, working on the Kectil network and things like that. All of this contributed for me to get other important opportunities in the future. So again, Kectil is a very great platform for you to access all of these resources and more, meet great people, network with them, build your knowledge, expand your horizon, your scope, and it can also push you forward into even greater opportunities. So please do join the program. Applications are currently ongoing, and it will end on the 30th of November. So please get on board with the program. When you do apply and you are selected, please participate actively, because there's opportunities for you to continue to grow, not just as a person, but also professionally as well. I hope my story helps someone. I hope that is encouraging for someone to actually apply and be motivated to complete the program as due. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share, Ray, and nice to be here once more. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anubukam. What an inspiring story, another one. That's what Kectil's young leaders all about. And next we have Roderick, who is running the Kectil Center in Zambia. Roderick, why don't you share your experience with Kectil?
Well, thank you so much, Ray. So just like my colleague Anubukam, though I love calling her Teresa because she has the same name with my mother. So we joined Kectil with, I think that was in 2016. Then in 2017, we won a fully funded scholarship to travel to Atlanta, Georgia. So it was actually a great international experience. So I think that was in July when we found that it was raining in Atlanta. So like coming from Zambia, where we usually have rain season from November to March, somewhere there. So like I was kind of surprised, like, oh, it is raining here. So it was actually a wonderful moment and also wonderful exposure. So, and also I was just, because we are coming from the country where you think that, okay, you are, okay, the best. But I came in a room, I think by that time I was 23 years old. Then I was in the room with some, I think 18-year-old Rebecca, and also there was Tammy, yes, so from South Africa. So like Rebecca was talking about blockchain technology, cryptocurrency, and I've never heard about that at that time. So I was like, how can this young lady know about these things? So like it was just that moment where, you get in a room with young people who know too much, and then you are wondering like, what am I doing here? So it was actually a wonderful moment. And also, we became friends, and then we connected because Some of them were writers as well. So we connected, changed notes. And also that helped me to become an author myself. Like in 2021, that led me to win an award also in New York. So that was good. And apart from that, I think from the time I joined Kectil, we developed actually international, relationship with mentors, like Dr. Snowy from South Africa, Dr. McKean, the first Black person to get that license of intellectual property. So like also with Professor Greg Fonzo. So like it was just that moment where like I got an opportunity to be exposed with international business leaders and also civil leaders as well. So from there, like in 2017, just like my colleague Ann Bokan also became a regional coordinator from there, leading Central Africa as well. So like I participated, I think, for that for 3 years in a row. Then from there, I became a country director for Zambia, where we are training young people in entrepreneurship. So we started the center, I think that was in last year in September. So to date, we have trained over 500 youths. So we have also hosted about 50 entrepreneurs and business leaders. So like these are hard people to get, but we have actually got them because of the great work that we're doing. So some of them just come to us to see what we're doing, then they just get also involved. So like we have also, I think, hosted about close to 26 meetings. So like ever since we started. So like this has been a great journey of growing. So for us, like I might be thinking like I was doing an MBA, but in its own way. So like I'm just love being at Kectil. So for you who are applying, I encourage you to participate in this. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Roger.
Thank you, Rod. What an amazing journey. That's what we like to hear. And then we'll move next to Lisa, who just achieved a great honor of achieving a scholarship. Lisa, why don't you go ahead and share your experience?
Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me clearly. I am Lisa Hussein. I am from Guyana, and I think I actually joined Kectil in 2020, but due to COVID challenges, it ended up being 2 years, and I ended up graduating in 2021. And after that, I became due to my performance during my time with Kectil, I got the opportunity to become a regional coordinator for the South America and Caribbean region. And at that particular point, I just wanted to go on a slight tangent to future persons who plan to apply for the program and be a part of the program. You get out of Kectil what you put into it. So I just want you to remember that while you're applying and while you're hoping to get in. So you get what you get out of it, what you put into it. And that gives me the good lead up into the amazing things that I've done. Because I made a recent statement, and I've always believed that my leadership growth and my opportunities really propelled because Kectil seemed like a stepping stone to that. I think it was the first international leadership program. It was the first international leadership program I actually joined. And I joined it because, and I see Sarah Scott on the call as well, Patrice Douglas, and two amazing women in my country who I saw were a part of the program, and they have been doing, and they went on to do so many amazing things. I thought, this is a path they took. Maybe if I try it out, I could probably be as successful as them, and find my own path as well. And it was. I may not have had the same experiences as they did, but I found my own. And finally, Ray was mentioning that I recently got a Chevening scholarship to study. So currently I'm not in Guyana. I in England for a year studying for my master's in financial technology. And it's on a Achieving Scholarship. A huge part of the scholarship was the essay aspect. It was a long and grueling process, but to first get the step in, you had to write 4 important essays. And the Kectil experience, where it was the first time I got the opportunity, I think Sherry was mentioning, they give modules and assignments. It may sound like assignments, academic work, but it's truly a way I found my voice and got the opportunity to express myself like I've never did in academic or anywhere else, because I just wrote what I thought, I felt, and I felt like my voice was important at that point in time. So a lot of that I learned there, I got to take to my Achieving essay. And even more when Achieving asked about my networking and when they asked about my leadership skills, I wrote in my essays about my Kectil experience. So of course, when they saw that and they read through my essays, that was thanks to being part of Kectil. I'm not saying that you're going to join Kectil and be automatically successful or get all the amazing things, but that's what I mentioned earlier. You get out of it what you put into it. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say, that it takes no harm in trying something new and putting in some effort for yourself. The greatest investment you can make is in yourself. So if you're planning on applying for Kectil, I hope all of our testimonies here today give you some encouragement and you see that it does take a lot of hard work and it's going to be an amazing community that you'll be joining. Thank you.
Yeah. Lisa, I loved your comment that the difference between what we do at Kectil and what you do at university. When you do at university, you learn something and you have to give it back. You memorize, you give it back. That's what the process is. But that's not our process. Our process is to ask you mind-blowing questions about life itself, and you have to think about the answers. And that's where you take your mind and just go, whoo, and think about that, and you speak from the heart, and then you learn how to express yourself and think from the heart. And that's more important than any school assignment.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Lisa. Thank you, Sherry. And Lisa, you said that, you found your voice with Kectil, and that's what Kectil is all about. We embrace young people's voices. We don't put any filter on that. We allow them to be authentic, and that's what Kectil is all about. Mm-hmm. So thank you very much for saying that. And next, we have Ramsha, also another successful female leader from Pakistan. Ramsha, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, thank you, Ray. Hello, everyone. I am Ramsha Iftikhar from Pakistan. First of all, I am grateful to the Miss Sherry Knowles and the whole Kectil team for the support and giving me out the opportunity to share my great experience with the Kectil program. My incredible journey with the Kectil program started in 2018 as an intern, and further I stayed connected with the Kectil program by engaging in different roles. Currently, I am a mentor and regional group coordinator of the India 3 regional group. About my progress, and recently I got admission in the University of New South Wales, Australia, and awarded with the competitive scholarship of University International Postgraduate Award to commence my PhD degree. For my selection and progress so far, along with my academics, I acknowledge the contribution made by the Kectil program to introduce in my daily life the skills that enabled me to compete and stand out in the international community. This program polished my leadership skills, expanded my knowledge as well as my network, and updated my proficiency in leadership skills and multitasking. I strongly believe that anyone who wants to make a difference should take this challenging opportunity, and I recommend you to must join the Kectil class of 2023 to avail this prestigious leadership training. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ramsha, for sharing your story. And then congratulations again for your further studies in Australia. We're very proud of you. And then Yeah, I'd like to share a video next about a Kectil Youth Leadership Conference that was held in Atlanta in 2019. So please watch it. I'll share it now. I hope you can also hear the sound.
The Kectil program is a dream that I had starting in 2016. I wanted to put together a group of youth, talented youth from developing countries all over the world, to let them start solving their own problems and actually connect youth who are in disadvantaged or remote locations, put them together with some real thought leaders and with experts in a lot of different areas. Each year, this is building, the excitement is growing, and with every cohort we have, they become a seed in their country. They become youth leaders who then bring youth in all over their countries to join with us. And what we're doing is we're creating something called the Kectil Generation.
I got involved with Kectil. The first time was in 2016, so I applied for the very first cohort to be in the program. Sherry came to Nairobi in November of 2016, and then I was selected to come for the inaugural conference in Atlanta. So I've just stayed on ever since. I fell in love with what the program was doing, the change the program wanted to make.
It brings a group of diverse people from different backgrounds, different cultures, different religions and regions all over the world who come together for one reason, and which to make a difference in their community.
They said they would train us as like young leaders, as global leaders for a year. And leadership had been something that I was really passionate about. I wanted to meet these great leaders because we interacted on social media and stuff, and I wanted to get some inspiration from them.
Thanks to Kectil, here I am in Atlanta meeting some of the brightest minds from across the world.
I knew that I wanted to do more. I wanted to help more. I also wanted to help my country in its social development. That was really my motivation to join Kectil.
Having that international collaboration is something that I think is very valuable. I think so if we can get together and we can help each other, we can come up with solutions for the problems we have in our respective countries.
I think it was just that it started off with a day or two just to tour and get to know each other. That provides that framework at the beginning where you're able to just get to relate with people, speak about their countries, what they're doing, and just created that conducive environment for constructive conversation.
I'm a youth mentor for the 2019 cohort. Initially joined Kectil in 2017 and really was drawn to Kectil for developing young leaders who are interested in entrepreneurship and innovation, which is something I'm passionate about. And the conversations that need to be had are being had. And more transparency and more open dialogue. So not only the conference which we have now, but the work that is done throughout, all the monthly assignments.
It's really important because one, the demographics are changing and the younger population is going to take over, it's going to explode. And it's very key for everyone to start involving the young people as early as now. And the one way you can involve them is getting them through leadership trainings like what Kectil has done. The Kectil generation is the next big thing.
Get involved in Kectil, get involved in any other program it is in order to make your mark, contribute to society.
And coming to the Kectil program, we were being taken to Coca-Cola, we were being taken to AT&T. They share a lot about how they process, how they do the work. And then it's a great platform and a great opportunity to learn how these big companies work.
So the Kectil program really, as much as they do train you, they also open your mind to see things from a different perspective, and they give you the push needed to actually make the change, because the youth are the future generation, and we all, people who are positive, who are passionate about changing something in their community should definitely get involved, because I won't lie, it's a life-changing experience.
Yep, I hope you got what Kectil is about from that video as well. And we right now very excited to welcome our next cohort. And I'm also reading the chat, and everybody's saying how excited they are to be a part of the next cohort. And we are as well excited as of you. And then Kectil has no boundaries, and that's what Kectil is all about. You know, we embrace young people from different social life, from different parts of the world. So all you have to do is go to kectil.com. We have our application set up. You just click the link and apply. You only have to answer simple questions about you, what your leadership goals are about, and you know what you want to achieve with us. And we're always here to help you. And also, if you have questions, please feel free to ask as well. You can reach out to us at mail@kectil.com. And we also have our different social media on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. And we also have a video on YouTube that highlighted how to apply through the process. We show you step-by-step how to do that. So if you have, you know, if you don't know how to do, you can go to YouTube and just type Kectil application, and we'll take you through step-by-step. So right now we'll give Azim Yusuf, who is a Kectil board member, a chance to share his experience with Kectil. Azim, please go ahead.
You're you need to tell him he's.
Azim, we cannot hear you. You're muted, your microphone.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Yeah. Hi, everyone. Sorry for the background. Actually, I'm in hospital. I just get my nephew in the hospital. He's in emergency. So I'm calling from the hospital. Sorry for that. This is Azim Yusuf from Pakistan. And by profession, I'm textile engineer and post-graduated in business administration. When I joined Kectil, I was in graduation in 2017. And before joining the Kectil, I was the person who lived his own life, no concern with others and no concern with the society. But when joined Kectil, and definitely sharing my role model, and I am take part in the betterment of the societies of the country and
Azim, we cannot hear you. Your connection is.
For the people,
have...
for
Yeah, Azim,
youth empowerment. Wait, can you hear me, please?
Yeah, Azim, we're sorry, we can't hear you. So I think you might have to wait a while. And yeah.
Wait, can you hear me, please?
Yeah, we can now. Yeah,
that's better.
Yeah.
I was talking about, I raised my voice for the youth employment, for the technical education of the youth and women's empowerment, because I believe everyone must have same rights in any country or in any society. The same, my religion, Islam, also emphasize for the respect for the woman. Currently, I'm very proudly said that I'm bearing the expenses of 10 orphan kids from my own pocket. So this is all happening after I joined the Kectil. I definitely learned everything and how to serve my society from Kectil. That's all I want to say. Thank you, Kectil. Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you. Thank you. And good luck to your nephew. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling in at a difficult time. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Azim. And last but not least, Sarah, we also would like to hear from you. You can go ahead and share your experience.
Okay, hello, good morning. Could you hear me? Because I'm actually on the road right now. I just joined and I wasn't expecting to speak. However, it's good to be here. Thank you for everyone for joining us. I just want to say that or echo the sentiments that Lisa would have made, stating that the program is as much as what you give to it. So if you do not put in a lot, do not expect that you're just coming to the program to get a trip to the United States. It's more than that. You're being taught how to be a good leader. And this program would have made a difference and changed my perspectives of leadership, especially in the health field that I'm currently in. And I must say it even made a difference in my selection for my master's degree in family medicine that I'm now pursuing. So please see this as a wonderful opportunity for you to grow and to have new experiences, to network and to learn from other persons. So that's all I have to say this morning. And I really do hope that we can share this opportunity so that we have even more diverse and talented group of participants for the new cohort. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sarah, and thank you for sharing. And then before we close with the sharing remarks, I'd like to answer a few questions in the Q&A asked by our audience. So we have a question about should a Kectil 2020 cohort participant again participate for 2023? Yes, absolutely can. You can, we're not a program that ended after just a year. As you hear most of the stories, we have people who stay with us for 5 years, 4 years, and more than that. So we're a program that you can engage with a long time. So please, feel free to apply again and do the assignments again, have fun, share your ideas with young people. And then again, the application portal is live on kectil.com and all on our different Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, social media platforms. So you can just go there and it's very easy. You just have to click and then apply. So thank you very much for all the board members, regional coordinators for sharing your experiences and then welcoming the next upcoming cohort. And finally, Sherry, you can please conclude with a closing remarks to everybody.
Okay. Well, I love hearing all the stories from the Kectil colleagues and all of you who have stayed on for years and realized what Kectil is all about. As we've said during this hour, Kectil is a mind-blowing experience. We want you to think about questions you've never thought about. And in many countries with youth, they're not asked what their opinion is. They're asked to learn or memorize or repeat, and they're told to kind of listen to their elders and not maybe express their views as much. But we do the opposite. In Kectil, your views, your ideas, your thoughts, how you want to change the world, what's in your core? Who are you? What's in your core? How are you going to make your life plan? And how can this amazing, talented network help you achieve your goals? And how can you help youth all around the world achieve their goals? So it's mutual. And also talking frankly about issues facing your community, your friends, your community, your life. And we hope that your mind is just exploded by the Kectil experience and that you see things in a very different way than before you joined the program. Yes, and absolutely, as Ray said, we absolutely want Kectil colleagues who have been in the program to reapply. We want to have a long-term core that gets bigger and bigger. We also want Kectil or youth who want to join Kectil to be our eyes and ears on the ground, identify talented youth in your countries, and please, please tell them about the Kectil.com website and urge them to apply, because the Kectil generation is only as great as all the great talented youth leaders who are members, and we've already got a wonderful core, but you are our eyes and ears. You need to go out and pick out and see the people who need to be part of this life-changing, I would call it tsunami, youth tsunami around the world. Find those people and get them in here and let's change the world and let's create the Kectil generation. So thank you so much for joining in. We can't wait to get your application. We can't wait to meet you, and we can't wait for you to be part of our family. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sherry. And again, to everybody listening, I'd like to highlight again that our application portal closes on November 30th, and we already have nearly 2,000 applications, and we want more of you. And you just don't apply yourself, please, tell your friends. We can be a part of this program together. We can walk this journey together. We're always welcoming young people. We're always glad to hear their voices. Thank you very much for listening to our webinars, and thank you very much, everybody, for sharing your stories. And thank you very much, Sherry, for giving words of encouragement to the young people. This is a great one, and we're looking forward to see all of you again as Kectil grows, and all the participants joined today. We believe that you applied and you get into the program and you achieve more success. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.